It's Harry Potter time. In this video, we're going to take a close look at the first Harry Potter movie and talk about the deeper details. I don't really got a smooth transition or anything, so let's get after it. There's an owl on the night that Dumbledore drops Harry off, which is pretty cool with owls being Harry's magic pet of choice. There might be some deeper significance. This might be like Harry's dad's owl or something. I don't know, I didn't read the books. Dumbledore uses the Deluminator that he gives Ron in the very first scene of the series, but currently all it does is turn out lights. But I guess it kinda makes sense. If you keep it dark, no muggles are gonna see anything magic happening. Hagrid, what the fuck?
I've watched them all day. They're the worst sort of muggles imaginable.
This would be racist if she wasn't completely correct.
Until he is ready.
I understand the idea of leaving Harry in Muggle society until he's ready, but McGonagall is right. They should just leave him with an orphanage. It's weird how Dumbledore writes her opinion off without a second thought.
There, Hagrid.
Why does Dumbledore think that Hagrid is crying because of leaving Harry here? It's clearly because James and Lily, his friends and fellow original Order of the Phoenix members, just got killed by Wizard Hitler. There's a distinct lack of lightning bolt-shaped flesh wound in this shot, but in the next one it's there. Yeah, about the title, in the original release here in Canada, it was called Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I don't know why. Philosophers may have been offended by the original title.
Wake up, cousin! We're going to the zoo!
Is Dudley a dickhead or just really fucking jazzed about going to the zoo? Ah, just a dickhead, gotcha.
36, counted them myself.
36, but last year I had 37!
A little bit heavy-handed on the spoiled brat characterization, right? No kid would act like this, and if they did, they'd be getting 38 individually wrapped chiclets from me.
Sorry about him. He doesn't understand what it's like.
We learn later in the series that when Harry talks to snakes, he perceives himself as speaking English, but he's really talking snake language. So to everyone else in the zoo, this kid looks like the Antichrist. Snake nod.
Thanks.
Wait, he can talk back? Why did he use gestures before? I like all the pictures of Dudley that the Dursleys have hung up. It really gives a sense of what kind of parenting they get up to.
Shoot! Good.
Are owls like hella common in the UK or something? This is a swarm of birds of prey and they aren't even remotely frightened. Ah, never mind, this is definitely some wizard shit. As far as I'm aware, there's no spell that duplicates objects or creates matter from nothing, so every single one of these letters was written by hand. Hagrid can't spell.
Unless you'd rather stay, of course.
This line is really weird if you think about it way too hard. Maybe they stuck Harry with the Dursleys on purpose to ensure that he'd choose to go to Hogwarts on his 11th birthday. Nah, I'm just overthinking it, you're right.
Welcome, Harry, to Diagon Alley.
Diagon Alley? Really worked hard on that one, huh, Joanne? If I'm being honest, I'd be more stoked to find out that I have a vault full of solid fucking gold coins than finding out that I was a wizard. You'd think that this wand shop that's been open for 2,300 years would know that waving the wrong wand breaks shit and wouldn't suggest doing it to every kid trying every wand.
We'll take the lot.
I like that Harry tosses his wealth around. This is like a light purchase for what he just found out that he has.
But before you can take your seats, you must be sorted into your houses.
Yo, what house you guys in? I did the quiz online and I'm a Hufflepuff. Leave whatever you got on that website in the comments below.
The house with the most points is awarded the House Cup.
I don't really get the concept of the House Cup. It's not really important. All it does is decide whose banners are hung up at the end of year, and it's not really used after the first movie, so it's really strange.
Gryffindor!
Hermione does have a strong sense of duty, and she always does the right thing, but her whole personality is just being a know-it-all. She's textbook Ravenclaw.
Draco Malfoy.
Slytherin!
The hat literally didn't even need to touch his head. Name alone does the trick. Psych, I guess they can just materialize stuff. So what use is money? How is there possibly rich wizards and poor wizards? You can just manifest whatever you want whenever you want.
How can you be nearly headless?
Like this.
Bro, Nick, not when we're eating. How many times have I told you?
Perhaps it would be more useful if I were to transfigure Mr. Potter and yourself into a pocket watch.
McGonagall threatens transmogrification, but she's the one who tells Mad-Eye that that's off limits in the Goblet of Fire.
Enough.
In case you missed it, Harry was taking notes on pretty much exactly everything Snape was saying.
Really, fame isn't everything.
Snape lays into Harry for not knowing how to make potions in his first class of his first year of potions class.
I, a rabbit, harping home. Turn this water into rum.
The first spell that the 11-year-old Irish student named Seamus tries to cast is something to turn water into alcohol. That's offensive, right? It's gotta be offensive. Harry being the first one who's able to pick up his broom is a nice little hint at his natural aptitude for flying. I'm really glad these films got a higher budget in the future. The shit with the students becoming CG looks awful.
We catch this, Potter. And we win.
That's stupid. Quidditch is stupid. The entire game is irrelevant due solely to the existence of the snitch. Imagine playing a game of Quidditch where you work your ass off to get 140 points, flying downfield, tossing the quaffle through those hoops, getting smashed by bludgers and nearly falling to your death multiple times, and then whoops, the enemy seeker got the snitch. I guess we lose now.
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
You can't tell just by listening, but if you have subtitles on, the difference Hermione is pointing out to Ron is adding a British R at the end of Leviosa. For American English speakers, this goes pretty much entirely over your head, and it just sounds like she's correcting how hard he says "sa."
She's a nightmare, honestly. No wonder she hasn't got any friends.
Ron and Harry have spent every group scene thus far hanging out with Hermione. Only one time were they with Seamus, and who the hell are you?
Turn around in the dungeon!
I know Quirrell is just pretending to be a coward, but how did he snag the position of the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher if he faints at the very idea of a troll? I bet Snape could take like 20 trolls, at least.
Somebody once told me.
At least make the scene move faster so I can't tell that Daniel Radcliffe has been replaced by a PlayStation 2 version of himself, please. That wand is in the troll's brain now. They killed him.
Troll bogies.
There's 4 sinks still in commission, and Harry chooses to wipe that off on his robe.
Listen, last night, I'm guessing Snape let the troll in as a diversion, so he could try and get past that 3-headed dog.
What sense does this make? Why would Fluffy leave its post to handle the troll? Oh geez, I wonder what this gift could be.
The bludgers are up, followed by the golden snitch.
I just don't get Quidditch. Why not, instead of the normal positions, have like 1 or 2 keepers and then put the rest of the team on seeker duty? You'd be an unstoppable force. You could easily like corner the snitch and insta-win the game. Did he just punch her? Is Quidditch full contact? Evil guy's got bad teeth. Everyone know that. Harry finally decides to move from his starting position, a full 4 minutes into this game. If you look in the background of this shot, you can see Professor Quirrell masking the fact that he's the one behind the jinx by covering his mouth with his hand. It's a very subtle detail.
He's got the snitch! Harry Potter receives 150 points for catching the snitch! Gryffindor wins!
Oh, I'm so glad that the other 13 players had such a massive effect on the outcome of this game. Really well-balanced rule set.
Then I lent him to Dumbledore to guard the...
Yes?
Shouldn't have said that.
This is the first in a long series of Harry and the gang obtaining information from loose-lipped adults. Hagrid is especially guilty.
What that dog is guarding is strictly between Professor Dumbledore and Nicholas Flamel.
And that makes twice in one scene.
I've got presents. Yeah.
That is the single saddest interaction in this entire series of films.
That's an invisibility cloak. I'm invisible. It's really rare.
Ron saying an invisibility cloak and that they're really rare implies the existence of others, but later we learn that this is a Deathly Hallow, one of a kind, and from an ancient fairy tale. A fairy tale that Ron is supposedly very familiar with from his childhood. I guess Joanne didn't have it all planned out from the start, huh? Again, Snape reaches out, suspecting someone of using an invisibility cloak. You know, the special one-of-a-kind eldritch fairy tale story item. The Mirror of Erised, or Desire spelled backwards. Whole lot of effort put into that name. Anyways, this mirror shows you your heart's deepest desire, so Harry of course sees his parents. I wonder what I would see if I looked in that mirror.
Cupid.
Oh Jesus, she just broke every single finger on Harry's left hand.
That's what Fluffy's guarding on the 3rd floor.
Hey, I just thought of this, but why would the trapdoor that go down be on the 3rd floor? That seems like a ground floor or basement level thing to do. That don't make a whole lot of sense architecturally speaking.
Is that a dragon?
No.
Inside the dark forest.
As punishment for being at Hagrid's place after dark, I'm sending you to Hagrid for the night to go into that forest that there's a specific rule about not going into.
Ow! You stood on my foot!
How? He's walking behind you.
You have to relax. If you don't, it'll only kill you faster.
This is terrible phrasing. Just say that it'll let them go if they stay still. You're causing the panic yourself.
But we'll sulk in the sun, that's it! Devil's Snare hates sunlight. Lumos Solem!
Hermione uses Lumos Solum, which includes sol as in Latin for sun. That means that this is a specific variant of Lumos that mimics sunlight. That's a cool little detail.
There! I see it! The one with the broken wing!
Why does this room use all distinct looking keys? If the goal is to stop intruders, you'd think they'd be smarter and have them all look at least kinda similar to waste more time.
Hermione, you'll be the Queenside Castle.
Ron refers to a rook as a castle, and it's not just the once, he does it twice in this scene. And if the idea is Ron being a chess genius is the thing that gets them through here, it's weird that he does not even know what the pieces are called. Okay, so Ron takes a spill of about 5 feet. But it's weird, because for some reason he gets a horse to ride and get knocked off of, while Hermione and Harry both take empty positions. Otherwise, well, you know.
Checkmate!
The board state in the movie actually holds up. I went and tested it, and from the moment the White Queen takes the rook next to Harry, it was unwinnable. White did have a few outs before making that move, though.
You're a great wizard.
And Harry does not cast a single spell in the entire runtime of this movie, not even in class. Maybe Quidditch is considered wizardry, though.
Harry Potter.
Why this Voldemort got a nose?
That conveniently enough lies in your pocket.
I'm not going to complain that the stone magically appears in Harry's pocket, because we're fed some shit by Dumbledore later about it appearing if you need it, but aren't going to use it. I don't really get it. But how can Voldemort possibly know that it teleported into his pocket?
Kill him!
Quirrell, for some reason, doesn't just use Avada Kedavra, and he does this weird Superman jump. Considering the fact that the rat guy that follows Voldemort can cast Avada Kedavra, I'm pretty sure it's not an exclusive club, so I don't know why he doesn't.
What is this magic?
For anyone who is unaware, like I was the first 3 times I watched this movie, Harry is able to turn Quirrell to ash because he has an anti-Voldemort force field, and Quirrell is half Voldemort in the current state. It has absolutely nothing to do with the Philosopher's Stone, which is what I originally thought. But that does make this scene better, because I was gonna complain at the fact that Harry isn't even holding the rock when he does this shit.
He has enough elixir to set his affairs in order. But yes, he will die.
I thought that elixir of immortality was a one-time drink for permanent immortality. I guess not.
I award 10 points to Neville Longbottom.
This whole scene is bullshit and trivializes any importance the House Cup could have had, even though it already has none to begin with. That being said, Dumbledore awards Neville his points last, making him the hero that tips the scale in Gryffindor's favor. Big homie move, but still kinda whack to play favorites though.
Thanks, Hagrid.
Hagrid has personally witnessed the conditions that Harry lives with at home, and there should be no scenario where Harry is sent back to the Dursleys. It gives a real bittersweet feeling to this ending, and it takes away from the magic, but I guess it leads well into the second film. And that's it for the first Harry Potter movie. Overall, I still think it holds up pretty well. It has some pacing issues, but all of the Harry Potter movies have a pacing issue. If I was to rank all the movies, I think this one would come in 3rd place. It sets up the world really well, and it gets you interested in the concept, and it still feels good to watch. Will I be covering the rest of the movies? Probably, but it's unlikely that I'll do too many of them back to back. If you have any movies that you'd like me to do a video like this on, leave it in the comments. Make sure to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you next time.